Good morning, everyone. Quite a special event this week because for the first time in 53 years, I've got a cold sore. Now, this is the herpes simplex virus number 1. And I probably had it since I've been a kid, or certainly had the virus, but never ever had a cold sore. So what's quite interesting is why has it come out now? That's a good question. Well, usually the reason is because my immune system is probably slightly depressed, and your immune system in general keeps many of these viruses that we always have and will have for lifelong under control. And that's quite interesting because I'm not quite sure why it's popped up now. I definitely had some kind of viral infection maybe a couple of weeks back. I don't know whether it was COVID. Wasn't feeling 100%, but wasn't feeling unwell neither. Maybe just a little bit off, but there you go, it's just reappeared. Now, what's quite interesting, if you've been following all my posts recently, I've been talking about Alzheimer's disease, and we've been talking about how Alzheimer's disease may indeed be an infectious disease. And of course, one of those infections is the HSV1, and what we're learning is that HSV1 may be implicated in increasing the risk of Alzheimer's because it induces neuroinflammation. So that means I've got to start doing something to protect myself. And so what have I done? Well, I'm sleeping, I'm really getting to bed early because I want to make sure that my sleep is optimized. I'm bringing my exercise intensity down, but I'm keeping ticking over because moderate exercise becomes very anti-inflammatory, and I'm helping myself with regards to anti-inflammatory approaches supplementally. So I'm going to give you a couple of those. Curcumin, I'm using around about 2 to 3 grams currently, and again I'll dose up, and then when I'm feeling better, which I'm sort of starting to feel a bit better now, I will start to bring that down. Omega-3 fatty acids, I'm using these again as an anti-inflammatory, and of course I'm using this because I want the DHA, because that's protective for my brain and particularly protective for ApoE4 genotypes, which I'm one. And of course ApoE4 genotypes actually have a harder time with infections, and in particularly HSV1 with regards to neuroinflammation. So doubly protective on that. And what I would say on that, this is why it's really good to have that additional genomic information, because you can be more personalized with your data. But I'm going to work on things in a couple of other ways. I'm using a prebiotic because most of the action with regards to protecting ourselves from a point of view of inflammation, from protecting our brain from a point of view of neuroinflammation, is that gut-brain axis. So I'm just giving me a little bit more support with a prebiotic. Of course, the prebiotic feeds the microbiome and makes them more healthy, and giving that even a little bit more push with a superfood, so I'm getting more of the rainbow of colours from that, so I don't have to worry about it from foods in particular, and that's doing the same job. I want to be using different polyphenols, different rainbow of colour sources, because that increases the diversity of my microbiome, and when my microbiome is healthy, it's going to produce more short chain fatty acids. These are postbiotics that have a brilliant effect both locally on the gut, reducing inflammation, but importantly on the brain as well. So that's the plan so far.